Hello there. What's going on, everybody? It's episode 9. I think we're on episode 9 of Double Critical, and we're talking about... I think it's in episode 9, right? But
we had a mishap one too. It's like we had a misfire one, and then nothing, so maybe there's I don't know.
We're not supposed to talk about the misfire one. All right, guys. Joining me is Sean, Prehistoric Abbott. Wait, that's not his Prehistoric Painting.
Yeah, close enough.
He's a caveman, and he actually rides dinosaurs when he's not here. You guys would not believe it. I've seen the dinosaur he rides in on, and it's awesome.
It's amazing.
It's like his own Varactyl. Yes. And so we are, and I am Tim Bailey, a.k.a. Crabbok, and, this is Double Critical, where we talk about Star Wars Legion, and we will... Theory craft.
Yep.
Theory craft and what we're hoping to see, and the disclaimer, we really don't know what's coming outside of the stuff that we already know, like Anakin and Maul, which hopefully should be coming soon, and
and I think with the shipping notifications are going out for like BX and ARC Troopers is what I heard.
Not yet. No, it's Padme and Cad Bane that are getting
the ones
shipping.
That some people already have. Which
Yes. Yeah, that's always the fun stuff. But yes, so the good news is that we also know that at least Maul and Anakin should be coming soon, and that's kind of what inspires this episode, because this week we are talking about not like we do one every week, but today we're talking about Jedi and Force users, Jedi, Sith, and users of the Force, because there's a couple in the game right now, lightsaber wielding or Force users, I have to use the term exclusively because Palpatine is in there, and he is a Force user that does not use a lightsaber, as well as Grievous.
Sabine has a lightsaber.
Sabine and Grievous both have lightsabers that are not Force users. So, but they all have, there's kind of like this Venn diagram of where they kind of overlap, right? And we're getting more of those type of characters. And so, the cool thing is, if you look at all of the different, lightsaber using type characters right now, there's a lot of similarity, and
they tend to be, they're not copy and paste, but they're like, hey, you can kind of swap them out.
There's a lot of overlap, and there's some things that set them apart, but there's a lot of overlap, and if they keep adding more, which if Maul and Anakin are coming, and hopefully even more for the other factions to balance them out and give everybody at least 2, maybe eventually at least 3 lightsaber wielding characters. Are we going to just, get these vanilla, boring characters that are just carbon copies of the same, or will they branch out more? And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. Kind of like some things that maybe we would like to see, characters we'd like to see in that regard, and different ways to make that approach, that type of character, unique or different.
A lot of war games, I see tend to have problems where like their leader characters. Mm-hmm. Are cool and they're cool looking, but sometimes you can swap them out. It doesn't really matter so much, and that's what you don't want to have. You want to have unique characters that stand out and say, "Hey, I play this guy because he goes to my play style." Right,
exactly. So, a little bit of admin stuff before we jump into too much of it. Also, make sure you guys like and subscribe. You can get the podcast, the audio version on Spotify, Apple, and Podbean. Be sure to check out Sean's YouTube channel and his Instagram as well, which are going to be...
the Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Well, mostly the Instagram, yeah. You haven't put any videos up in a little while. But,
I haven't planned, and then...
But there's still... You still got quite a few out there.
Yeah, no, the ones... And I actually really... The clone one I like... The clone one is really good because it is a very basic way to do clones. I know a lot of people need that. Mm-hmm. And like a lot of times... I'm not the best. I'm a good painter, so that way you don't see like the average. Oh, I did the zenithal, and then I have this glaze. No. I use the color, and then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you're certainly a better painter than I am. So anybody who's my definition of an expert is anybody who's better than me. So there we go. But
that's a good way.
It works. It's good enough. If you have a better definition of expert than that, then maybe you're the expert on definitions. So, gosh, that's terrible. I'm such a dad joke guy. All right, but yes, so all that stuff's going on. Also, if you want to support the channel, there are links below for new merchandise. There's some new masks. There's some new bags. The new bags are actually going to be kind of cool. I should be getting one of those into preview pretty soon. And that's going to be like You can use it for anything, but I kind of want it to put order tokens in.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the new Sabine one finally.
Yeah,
Well,
the new Sabine
really
mask is out now, and a lot of the things are available in both mask form and in gator neck form or neck gator form. So now the masks, they have this thing. If you buy one of the first off, the masks are cheaper, and I have a lot of the same designs available for the masks. But they donate a dollar to charity. Teespring does, which is weird because it's not a COVID related charity. It's like a hunger. I think it's like a kids or something like that. I don't know, but. I mean, I guess they're all related.
A lot more food since the COVID, so maybe hey,
sure,
you need to send more to other people.
Yeah, I think but that's kind of cool. So but also the masks are a little cheaper. So if neck gaiters aren't your thing, but you are looking for like more of a traditional style mask, then we have those available also. All right, so all that stuff out of the way, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this because there's a lot of cool stuff to talk about here.
And there's a lot of cool characters that I really want to see because there's some I like more the off-color characters too. Like I want to talk about Quinlan Voss because I think
no, absolutely. There's all of that, but I'm gonna kind of set the stage by kind of framing what makes a lot of these characters the same, and then one example of a big difference that I think is pretty cool. So
okay.
So first off, we've got Grievous and Sabine, which are kind of outliers, but the ones that are mostly the same are kind of like your Luke, your Vader, and your Obi-Wan are kind of all very, very similar, and in a lot of ways. They don't now. Granted, Vader doesn't have jump, but generally the things you kind of expect to see is a really strong melee weapon. A lightsaber tends to be at least 5. Oh, and Dooku. I forgot Dooku.
I was gonna say does Dooku have jump? I actually don't remember.
Dooku does not have jump, so there are some differences, but jump is very common amongst Jedi, and then deflect. Deflect is very common. Immune to pierce, as well as some type of pierce on their weapon. Is also very common.
Have that.
Yeah, so between immunity to pierce, having pierce itself. It 5+ dice for melee, and usually some type of charge or relentless or something like that. Some type of benefit to attacking and move. And those are very common things. Also, deflect tends to be very common. Now, there are a few out. If you take any one of those things, and you're probably going to see something that's a little different. Like Obi-Wan doesn't have straight up deflect. He's got the Suresu Mastery
to represent his defense, his mastership.
But it still includes deflect. It's just it's like a deflect +1. Exactly. Vader and Vader doesn't have jump. Dooku doesn't have jump. Grievous has block instead of deflect, which is very, very similar, but it's still in the same ballpark. Sabine has jump, but she doesn't have any of the force. Well, Sabine and Grievous don't have the force. Yeah. And Master of the Force is another one that's very common, although Commander Luke doesn't have that. So subtle differences, but still a whole lot of stuff that's very similar. And I think most of these characters have red defense dice too. Most of them do.
Yeah, actually, no, I think they all do.
I think they all do.
They all do. Yeah. And it's the stable block of speed 2 melee character with touch of spice here and there.
Right. Now the big outlier, as far as Jedi or Sith is concerned, is I think Palpatine. Yeah. Palpatine is the biggest. Now he's not using a lightsaber, but he's kind of evolved past that. But even so, he's the biggest outlier because he is, first off, he's speed 1. He doesn't have deflect. Him not using a lightsaber is kind of a big deal here. And so Palpatine's playstyle also is so tremendously different than all the other ones. And a big part of that is his command cards, and command cards are a huge part of any character.
And then pulling the strings is another. It's a key word that really makes that character unique.
It absolutely is, and it gives him multiple different ways to play, and also his entourage. So he's just got so much that's different.
I know that all too well.
Oh yeah, his entourage is nasty, and then also his surges are a lot different as well. So it's
for some reason, even without reflect or deflect or any of that, he is surprisingly hard to kill.
Well, it's because he gets that surge to defense for all the time. He doesn't have to spend the dodge,
So that's true, yeah.
And then he usually is running with the Royal Guards, which kind of take the place of some of the dodges anyway. So Palp does really, really well, and he has a totally different playstyle. He's not running in there really quick and dashing around and jumping over things. He's just taking a slow, deliberate approach until he goes full blown Death Blossom, and starts attacking at range. So, and that's a big kind of difference that is, I think, more different from a Force user than any of the other Force users.
They did. I think, especially the weapons, what makes them really unique is their weapons and then the keywords they have. Like his pull the strings makes him incredibly unique.
Yeah. No, and absolutely, and it's such an interesting thing. Like you're jumping around to your videos. In case you guys are noticing, Sean's video is just jumping around. It does that sometimes, and we haven't figured out how to fix it right now. So.
Yeah, it goes off and on. Like
yeah, but it's not you. It's not an end user thing. It's just we're aware of it. It's just
This isn't a quantum shift thing going on. It's just like I'm in the garage, so maybe the internet.
Actually, you know what it is?
Oh, what?
Fantasy Flight doesn't like us talking about their plans or try to like steal their thunder, and so they're trying to DDoS you right now.
They're sabotaging me though.
Yep, you are the moisture evaporator, and they're sabotaging you right now.
They're just doing they don't want to make it seem like a direct attack against you, but go for the little guy. I get
it. Exactly. So. So basically that kind of sets the stage on how we want to kind of approach tonight's discussion, and that's to sit down and talk about like some different ideas on, because like I want to see all the different Force characters. I want to see all the sable wielders, between Maul and Anakin. We want to see what Ahsoka, Kanan, Ezra, yes, Ahsoka, Quinlan Voss, Asajj Ventress, Savage Opress, even.
We have Savage Opress. Isla Sakura,
all the Jedi Masters, right? Plo Koon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, all the Jedi Masters. You know what? There's not one. I don't like the big brain guy, but that's because it didn't.
Ki-Adi-Mundi. Ki-Adi-Mundi was good. Yeah, Ki-Adi-Mundi was the Conehead. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kit Fisto is one I definitely want.
So random fact about Ki-Adi-Mundi: his species is on the verge of dying, so he was one of the few Jedi that was allowed to breed.
Oh yeah.
So he had like a harem back at home. At least back in the I guess they call it
Legends.
Legends.
Yeah. So no, that's wild. Good for him. Good for Ki-Adi-Mundi. Good
big
for
old brain.
So here's I guess I'm gonna start us off, and
all right.
Instead of just talking specific characters, I want to say we need more Force abilities to come out. That's gonna be one way to help.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be one way to help characters, because there are occasions where I'm looking at a character who's got like Master of the Force 2, like Palpatine, and I'm thinking, man, that's really cool. But like, you know what? I don't know if I really want to put too many exhaustible Force upgrades on him or whatever. But that could really be a big, flavor in how you build a character, because certain maybe lightsaber wielding characters, maybe they give Mace Windu Master of the Force 2, or for example.
Yeah,
maybe they do, but at a certain point, you're like, well, which ones do I really need? Which ones do I not need? Because at a certain point, a lot of them become auto-include, right? Anybody who's got deflect, you have to put the free dodge on. You have to put force push on everybody. So that's like, if we get more force powers that can synergize with certain characters' playstyles.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope though, because in a sense, like you said, an auto include, you put out like I think we talked about like force speed, like for the Emperor would be amazing, giving him speed too.
Or Vader, Commander Vader. Well, I mean they kind of did that already with Operative Vader with his spur.
Spur, yeah.
But yeah,
so, I mean, there's ways to limit it, but like you still might have that auto include factor in there.
Well, and I think points can definitely be the thing. Like if there's a really good upgrade that costs 25 points, you're gonna think like the Darksaber on Sabine. I think twice before putting the Darksaber on Sabine because it's so expensive. So
that's a whole heavy weapon on another unit.
Yeah, exactly. Or in some cases maybe it's almost a whole other unit like R2D2. It's true. Almost a whole nother activation and a secret mission unit at that. So like the points are definitely a big player in that. But either way, I think more things. They don't even have to be super powered, super strong things. Certain force powers have been nice to have, but not necessarily auto includes. Like Obi-Wan came with the one that he could exhaust to put some surge tokens out there.
That one. What's that? I forget what it's called.
Force Guidance, I think it's
Force
called.
Guidance, yeah.
And it's not an auto include for like Empire or Rebels because they don't need surge tokens as much. So like that's a great idea. Like that's good design space. I want to see more things with that kind of design space in mind that that are going to give us more choices.
Actually, I think it's the best route to go because I could see. I think they already kind of did the Force Persuasion with that one Jedi or the Mind Trick. Is that what it's called?
Mind Trick, yeah, and it's not that great, but on Operative Luke, it's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or like if you have a if you're going for like a heavy suppression list with a Vader or something.
Yeah, no, exactly. And Vader is Vader's really good when you are going with all that suppression. I also want to see more light side and dark side specific Force cards.
Yeah, because that will really make them unique.
What is it? Only like two? It's only one of each right now, right? Force Choke and then Mind Trick. I think.
No, Hope.
Hope. Oh yeah, and then Hope and Anger.
Fire one, yeah.
Right.
Actually, I think Dark Side has two. Don't they have a
Fear? Right, or Fear and Anger, or
Fear and Anger. Something that's no, it's Force Choke and Force Choke and Anger.
Yeah.
The one
there's three for the dark side. Force Choke. There's the one that gives suppression, which is Fear, right. And then Anger is when you take a damage, you get an aim.
Okay.
So I guess they have three, but I still would like to see more. In the old Decipher card game, there was like certain ones that Luke had to learn, and one was called Control. Control would be a really good one. Yoda's like, control, you must learn control.
See, I'm thinking like the RPG has so many Force.
Oh my God, Enhance and all of those.
Enhance,
Heal, Force Healing.
Force Heal.
Oh, especially with Episode 9 and then The Mandalorian too. Force Healing is.
Yep. There's a mechanic one it's like in the Legends. It's real cool. Like you actually like see them, you see the machines with the Force kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
There's a bunch of neat ones.
Quinlan Voss. You talked about him, right? Like, and this would be a good segue into him. But like, psychometry would be a cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Would be a cool. I don't know how exactly that would work into the game. Maybe it would deal with objectives or something like that.
I was just thinking that it's the best way to do it. It'd be like maybe you can during like setup you can move one objective closer to you based on some I don't know.
Doesn't really sound like psychometry as well because he looks at the past.
No, like he touches it and he can see. He can
see its past. He can see where it's been, what it's been through. So I don't know if that would give you some kind of ability to predict the future. Maybe it's something with order tokens or something like that.
Oh yeah, that could be.
If he's touching an objective or something like that, it could be very objective based or objective specific.
Item based, maybe like you instead of exhausting something, you can.
Maybe he gets to pull an item from the supply deck.
Oh yeah, that could be it.
I mean, it'd be better if You know what? Actually, it'd be better if it came with its. It'd be better if it came with its own. If Quinlan Voss came with his own supply deck. All right. Well, so let's talk about Quinlan Voss.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Quinlan Voss should come with his own supply deck, right? That he uses psychometry on. This way, you don't have to worry about every card. Every other card that ever comes with psychometry has to also include that item deck, right? Yeah. So if he's the only one that can do it, then maybe he comes with a special item deck to represent.
That would be nice.
Would you make him light side or dark side?
See, I really wanted. Actually, so I think the versions you definitely could do. I mean, spoilers for Dark Disciple. Which is an old book at this point, but I definitely see him having a dark side because when he was Darth, whatever it was.
Did he have a name? I don't think he had a name.
He did. No, he had a name. He had like Darth.
Darth Dingus?
No, Jesus Christ. No.
Was that not it?
That was not it. It was okay. Darth, I think, with a T. But he had that whole like control aspect. But then when he was a Jedi,
I am Darth
Jedi.
Tim. Darth Timmy. Darth Timmy.
But he was very like great. Like you want to talk about great Jedi? Yeah. He was not. He worked for a criminal element. He was undercover, but like
he was chosen to go assassinate Dooku. And he was about the only one that would do it, that would do an assassination. So he was already walking the line anyway, and kind of fell to the dark side. And I mean, I don't know if he really came back. Like, I think he kind of came back. Like, I believe he survived Order 66 too.
Yeah, you have no idea. I know Asajj's sacrifice basically kind of prompted him like, I need to stop this.
Yeah. You know what? You could do a thing like if they're together, they can be light side or dark side. Because I would like to see Quinlan Voss be light side, but I'd like to see Asajj Ventress be dark side. But if you put them in the same list, either one can go to either faction, either side.
That'd be a cool way, and that makes them and makes a different list builds for everything.
Yeah, and of course they should have teamwork.
Oh god, yeah.
And this is all for you guys who aren't familiar. A book called Dark Disciple, where Quinlan Voss and Asajj Ventress team up. This is after Asajj got dumped by Dooku as the apprentice thing. This was, and I believe it was supposed to take place like somewhere around where season 7 was taking place of the Clone Wars, but it was unwritten episodes that never got made, and they turned it into a book, and it was a phenomenal, very good book.
One of the few good Star Wars books they have out right now.
Yeah,
and it is canon. It is canon too.
It is, yeah, absolutely. So, so that's really good stuff, and I would love to see that. I don't think I would do a different version of Asajj for that. I just, I think she has different lightsabers, but I think that's it.
She had lightsabers.
Sure, she did.
No, she did. When they were teaming up, she didn't have lightsabers yet. Really? Remember, she was the mercenary thing.
I thought she had them. She just wasn't using them. I don't. Well, it's been a long time since I've read it, so I'll have to go back.
So, also with Quinlan Voss, because he was that undercover agent kind of thing.
Yeah.
You can see a few keywords that make him unique: incognito, or whatever the one that KHSO has.
Yeah, it's incognito.
Or like you call Force Shroud or something like that.
Sure. Well, Quinlan Voss could have secret mission.
Oh, he totally could.
Because he was literally sent on a secret mission to assassinate, right? Or he could have bounty. That's more thematic with his book. Like that's a little bit closer to the book. You don't see a whole lot of melee bounty hunters either.
No, you don't. That'd be really interesting because he was acting as a bounty hunter. And you know what? He was chasing down Cad Bane in the Clone Wars episode as well.
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind if Quinlan and actually Asajj could
have bounty. Yeah,
Asajj could have bounty as well.
Again, two versions of her where she's the after she gets no longer the apprentice and before, because she was more like the secret assassin.
You know what? I'd love to see the pair of them. One have bounty and the other have secret mission.
There we go. Yeah.
And then if you combine those two, that makes for a really cool combination. But the only way they can be on the same faction is if they're in the same team. Yep. And they'd have to take up both of your operative slots.
Or detach. Yeah, that would take both your operative slots.
And that would be really expensive because you also need a commander. That would make it really, really expensive because they're going to be Clone Wars era. And so that means the droids don't have a cheap commander right now. So that means you're also running at a minimum Grievous. So there goes almost all of your list on this gimmick of Asajj and Quinlan, which is, hey, that's cool. That should, that's fun.
I don't, because I remember when he was the Darth, he kind of he actually he was leading the fleet too, so it was you can maybe swap a commander, but I think an operative idea is better for gameplay to make it more
sure, yeah, no, it definitely. And then if you run them in the Republic, I mean, I guess the cheapest option you can go is Rex, but then you're not getting any synergy, right? No, so you'd almost want Obi-Wan, so this way you could have 3 sabers
And Quinlan was so snarky to Obi-Wan. It was amazing in that episode.
Yeah. It was. They were so cool. That would be really fun.
Master.
That would be really fun. So I'd love to see Quinlan Voss and Asajj Ventress. And Asajj, I also really want to see Night Sister sub-faction. So Asajj Ventress could also be a gateway into a Night Sister sub-faction.
It would be really cool. And they have so many units, I think, able for that. And we talked about that before too.
Yes, we did a whole episode on sub-factions. That was, I think, episode 3 or 4 or something like that. It was early on.
Is it one of those 1 through 4?
Yes. Another thing I want to talk about is character-specific Force ability cards. So we talk about light side and dark side, but what if there were just more Force cards that were character-specific? This way, you mentioned something about things that are auto-includes on other characters. Well, it doesn't have to be, because you might say that just how the Darksaber is Sabine only, even though I didn't want it to be because I want Maul to be able to use the Darksaber, right? Well,
maybe. Suppose
there's certain Force abilities that are character specific, like Kylo Ren, right?
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I'm really spitballing here. I'm going way far out, but Kylo Ren did the whole mind thing, right?
I'll give you one that I actually was thinking of. Ezra and his beast control thing. He had the whole beast. He could something that interacts with creature troopers, or if you get them, creatures.
Oh yeah. Put choose an enemy creature trooper. Choose one. Give it 3 suppression, or perform a free move action with it.
You read my mind, man. That's kind of along the lines I was going with for it.
You know what I did? I did that Kylo Ren mind probe. Right at you.
The mind thing.
You will bring Captain Solo and the Wookiee to me.
Yep.
No.
But that's very specific for Ezra. No one else is. I mean, Obi-Wan had the thing with the Varactyl in the one book, but
but that was more definitively Ezra's ability.
Exactly. He had to like
Yeah.
turn in the bats on Maul and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool. Like as you get more into, you dig down into it, different characters have different things that there were strengths of, and Obi-Wan didn't seem like he had any one greatest strength. He was very good. Actually, his best was mind trick.
Yeah. Well, and he did do a lot of the you'll go home and turn your life around.
Yeah, the mind trick stuff. He was
Yeah.
very
and
good.
RPGs, he's touted as like the defensive master, is what I remember. He's always talked about, like he's like that orb of the blocking.
Well, so let's talk about Ben Kenobi, old Obi-Wan Kenobi, because I want to see him for the Rebels at some point, and he could certainly be really good with mind trick and have some synergy with maybe mind trick, like doing stuff with suppression, like enemy units that have at least one suppression token cannot target him, like or something like that.
So he's just walking through the Death Star, like unbeknownst.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking he should have incognito as an operative or something like that. But there's a lot of other ways that you can make him synergize with something like mind trick, or maybe just give him something like that that's built in.
I would love a command card that's like cry at roar or something, where like it does like suppression at a distance.
Maybe he can scare. Yeah, maybe he scares away. Maybe he can force any creature trooper to panic.
Oh,
Oh,
see,
that sounds like a command card for him though. Like that might be like a 2-pip. Like he can do one of two things. He can make he can put a suppression token on everybody at distance 1 to 2 of him, or target a creature trooper and make it panic. Or something like that.
Because that could be deadly if it was like against a Tauntaun unit that's panicked.
Yeah, he does the howl. But here's what I've got, and here's one thing that I think would be really, really cool for Obi-Wan. We saw this in, because Obi-Wan Kenobi for the Rebels is in Star Wars Rebellion. Yes. And his whole thing is, his whole angle, his whole shtick in that game is to go out and die. He wants to be the noble sacrifice, right?
Imperial Assault, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, in Rebellion.
Oh, Rebellion, you're right, Rebellion. Okay.
Yeah, he gives the Rebels like a victory point if if Empire kills them, right?
Yep.
So he wants to die. If I die, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. And by the way, I'm going to go off on a tangent here. Okay. When I first saw Star Wars, like it's enough to comprehend it, I was thinking, oh man, if Vader kills him, he's going to turn into some kind of thunder god. I'm like
some Raiden kind of character.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, in my opinion, of more powerful than you can possibly imagine, are very different. Like I can imagine a lot. Obi-Wan is like, you'll never imagine how powerful I can be. I can whisper I can whisper to Luke Skywalker, and only to Luke Skywalker. I'm like, okay, I've got a cell phone. I can talk to more people than you can. Like that's not that powerful,
You know what? Unfortunately, I think it's the times of the movie and the restrictions on it. Yeah. But yeah, because Yoda set stuff on fire when he was a Force Ghost.
No kidding. Yoda was way more. And that's the stuff that he could do in real life. So how is that more like, you know what? You can still talk to Luke. Like the guys back on Yavin base had a comms to Luke. They could talk to him too. Like, Luke, we've seen you turned off your targeting computers. Everything okay? Yeah, it's no problem. I got an old man who's more powerful than Darth Vader could possibly imagine, and he's just gonna whisper to me and tell me to kind of go. And like, you know what? He should have been like. He should have been like Thor when he came back with Stormbreaker and like Infinity War, and just like wow, and all of the stormtroopers die. And he cracks the Death Star in half, and he's like, "Vader, you fool! Now I shall rule the galaxy. Come here, Palpatine." Palpatine, whatever. And I'm like, whatever. Like that's what he should have done. He should have mispronounced Palpatine's name because he was that powerful.
It's the Sith, like the Sith ghost, the Sith ghost.
Yeah,
have that power to influence the world around. They can almost manifest too in ways. So I don't know. That's why I guess some people like the Sith more, because they could do cool things.
they were very, very strong. But what I'd like Obi-Wan to do after he dies in Legion, I would like for him to have a command card that he can play. That he can play after he's dead. Yes, he issues orders after he's dead. Here's.
Oh, whispering. Yeah, actually, that's...
Yeah, Whisper from Beyond, or Force Ghost, Obi-Wan, or whatever, and... of
an old master.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, maybe... I think it would have two options. Maybe there's even a way you can use it while he's still alive, and it just gives him an order. So, like, you can probably still use it, and it just doesn't do anything. I would say probably make it a 1-pip. And if he's alive, it just gives Obi-Wan an order, right? If he's dead, it gives an order to Luke Leia and or Anakin.
Oh.
So this, because again, Obi-Wan Kenobi is in 2 different factions, so you want to make it possibly usable in all factions that Obi-Wan Kenobi can be in.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so and when he issues an order, when Obi-Wan issues an order, if he's dead, you also give the character an aim, dodge, and standby.
Okay. Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, Luke and Leia each have an aim and a dodge, and of course this also is taking into consideration. Hopefully someday we get Jedi Leia, like how she was training.
That too. Yeah, that was a cool scene.
That was a really cool. I want to see that. Right. So yeah, like that would be really cool.
Missed shows.
Oh. Yeah, well, we can always have stuff like that. There's all kinds of ridiculous rumors that Disney's scrapping all the stuff that the hardcore fans didn't like just to cater to.
I don't know if we were going to talk about it or not, because I was thinking that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, no, like it's baloney, because it's from a guy named Doomcock or something like that, and like as the source, and I'm like, that sounds like it's straight from George Lucas.
So, the only thing is, I think he was the guy who actually had a lot of leaks. Like, he knew the ending of the Rise of Skywalker like months before.
Yeah, but also as a fellow YouTuber, COVID has been really hard on views, so he probably needs to generate all the hype he can right now. Look, I also heard a lot of leaks that were complete cock-a-poop, and and so what, we'll see. Whatever they want to do, man, I'm happy to get more Star Wars, even if it's bad. I'm happy. Keep it coming. I'll take all the good and the bad. All right. So
I like that with the Force Ghost idea.
Yeah, so that would be a very different play. Like, because now Obi-Wan wants to get in, either go for objectives, or maybe wants to get in and die. Right. Mm-hmm. You'd have command cards across factions that would make Ben Kenobi play very, very differently. But he probably, I don't think you'd necessarily want to play like clone Obi-Wan's cards with him as much, because those are more for like a protector and and like that would differ from the play style of Ben Kenobi. You could still do it, but it might not be broken, right? It might just be like suboptimal, but okay,
I could definitely see the one where he gives guardian to everyone around him, kind of stuff. That one you would use with a Ben Kenobi, but
yeah, maybe, or he can guardian even in against a melee or something like that. That would be helpful if he's going with Luke.
That's true.
Like, this little one's not worth the effort. That'd be very, very cool. I'd love to see an old Ben.
It would be the only thing is his you know how many options with his model. I think my face froze.
Yeah, you're gonna have to restart your video. But yes, he would be really fun. I also we were talking about something else. We were talking about I've wanted to see this since the beginning.
All right.
But maybe it would have to be character specific, or maybe just a regular one. But I want to see enhanced versions of existing abilities. Like, I want an enhanced force push. I want an enhanced force push that can actually cause people to clamber, like where you can push somebody off a cliff.
See, that is that's the dream in the way, because it's when I think of force throw or force push, you're using that to get them. That's what you did in all the video games. I
push somebody off a cliff.
Yeah, exactly.
And right now, that's a very common thing you think you want to do as a Jedi, but only Darth Vader can do that with his operative 1-pip, right? And it's just it's not.
I don't even think you're allowed to throw them off the map either. It has to be up and down one level.
And that much is fine, but it's not like people are going to go around pulling you through a wall in an interior map. And when we already said that you couldn't use force powers through the map, well, who would do such a thing? All right.
What about this? So we're talking about kind of unique cards and all that.
Yeah.
Not force upgrade, but a train upgrade, because we have the Inquisitors. So you have Inquisitor training, because then you can find multiple different Inquisitors.
Okay.
Or you can make it a dark side only card, because technically Darth Vader was an Inquisitor in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Give it maybe give it more health. Give it one more hit point. Give it.
So you can actually outfit your Inquisitors. If you want to do neutral Inquisitors, you're saying, right?
Exactly.
Generic Inquisitors.
Ninth Sister, Seventh Son.
Okay, so maybe they have 1 Force and 2 training.
Yeah.
And you could make an Inquisitor training upgrade that gives them Master of the Force 1.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Maybe the generic one doesn't have it.
or the helicopter spinny thing that they can do, which is stupid.
Oh, you didn't.
It happened in the show.
Why?
All right, man.
You know, Rebels was great, but you picked the one terrible moment from Rebels to bring up. Yeah, no, I get it.
What's the physics of that? I have no idea.
I think they just used the Force, and they did it for Flash. We're just gonna say they were trying to show off because they knew that we were watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool looking.
I guess. I mean, maybe it was cool looking. I didn't find it cool looking, to be honest. I don't
think. Besides that one episode, I don't think they ever did it ever again. Did they?
I hope they never do. Outside, well, no. You know what? You know what would be the only cool time for them to do that? If they do another holiday special, where they just decide, like, if someday Disney decides, hey, you know what? Enough time has passed. Let's take a moment to laugh at ourselves and look at all of our failures over the past 10 years. You know, or maybe not. They probably won't say failures, but you know what I'm saying. Like, let's look at all the things that didn't work. Right? Yeah. That would be a really fun one to do. You know. And I might even throw in the Loth wolves that are like hyperspace walking, which is kind of like the wolves were cool, but being able to just walk through hyperspace is a little.
I mean, you have space, but there's space whales. You know, how do they breathe air, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, we also had mirrors that took you to alternate dimensions. So
that's another thing. Yeah. There was some weird stuff. You know, it's okay. George Lucas has some weird ideas too.
Like Luke dated a ghost for like years in the Legends books.
Yeah, no, you know, I'm not trying to be too picky here, but there are some things that are kind of like, woo, okay, you know, that was kind of one of them. So yeah, I wouldn't get too much into that.
Speaking of Loth wolves, though, the creatures that interact with Jedi, like mounts, maybe.
Mounts, yeah, like Obi-Wan on the Varactyl.
Obi-Wan the Varactyl would be awesome.
Yeah. Maybe a different version of Grievous on his little circular bike.
Yeah, the speeder bike.
Chewbacca carrying Yoda. No, Luke with Yoda on his back. Yoda would be mounted by he could dismount off of Luke. No, I know. Yoda's a good one to talk about. Yoda would be, you know, I think Yoda should be really strong. I think he should be kind of on par with Palp. A little cheaper than Palp, though. Yeah,
because I think he seems frailer in a way. I know he's Yoda, but like he's still a small little froggy creature.
I think you give him a red die. I think for defense. I think you give him defensive surge.
Oh, okay.
And I think you give him impervious and immune to pierce.
Maybe not impervious. I don't know. Like,
I think you make him the hardest to hit ever.
But he has what, 4 health?
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
4 or 5. I mean, like 4 sounds good for thematic reasons.
Yeah.
But 5 might be more required for balance, like Palpatine is.
What about this?
Okay.
You give him a whole like 6 health, whatever. But on like the 5th or 6th turn, he has to die. Because he dies in the movies.
Oh man. No, I'm thinking Clone Wars Yoda, man. Like,
I'm thinking.
Oh yeah. No, I see where you're going with that. You're saying with somebody who's tough but has a finite lifespan.
Exactly.
Yeah, like there's a character.
Oh, man, for some reason I didn't even think of Clone Wars Yoda. I'm thinking like old craggly frog.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Yoda versus Dooku, like jumping around, spinning around. Here's the thing. Here's a cool thing that I want Yoda to have that I think would be a really cool way to make him play differently.
Okay.
I don't know if I want him to be Speed 3 or not, because I would love to see some Speed 3 Jedi at some point. And he is kind of fast and squirrely, but I still think Speed 2. But here's what I would do. I would give him Charge, but at the end of each one of his activations, he gains a free standby token.
And then he can leave, and like he can use that to leave combat as well. Because I can see I'd have like a ricochet. Like he's bouncing around between different units.
Well, in case he can't get to somebody, he moves in. In case he can't reach, he gains a standby. Maybe you give him Relentless, and so maybe you want to put Saber Throw on him.
Yeah.
Right. So if he can't get there,
but then he's just basically a Vader version of for the Rebel or for Clone Wars.
Maybe. I mean, he definitely has a courage value. There's no way Yoda is fearless.
Yeah.
He's not going to have that. He's going to have his surges. Maybe he doesn't get surge to crit to make up for it. You know,
Okay,
but the
yeah.
reason here, my reasoning is that standby, like he was always ready, right? Those clones came up behind him, and he interrupted him. Either standby, or you kind of give him that kind of Jyn Erso interrupt ability, right? Like I want him to be able to interrupt people so that somebody's going to try to shoot him to get rid of his standby, and maybe he's got a chance to interrupt them. And
oh, you could you know what, that'd be a great force upgrade. Like, you know, you get it's called like
it takes 2 suppression to remove the standby from you.
Exactly. Yeah. Go. Force or something.
Or maybe you roll a die and you've got a chance. Like roll a white die on ink, you get to keep your standby or something like that.
Maybe. I would you know what? I would go with red die with
for a block, so 50-50?
Yeah, block. So it's 50-50.
50-50. Yeah, no, like something like that would be kind of cool. But I would like for you, I think Yoda should have some kind of synergy with standbys. So you kind of want to put him up close and then pray for the best, right? Like let's see, because then maybe he can be like, you know, kill 2 guys in one activation. That sounds like something that Yoda would do, like kind of bouncing around.
I'll throw a command card idea for Clone Wars Yoda. After a successful melee attack, if there is another unit within range, you know, melee or like say speed 2, he can also make an attack against the like. My ricochet idea, like if he can make a move against a unit, and they're like basically he can bounce around the whole map. It's a command card, so you're going to do it once.
Oh, you're talking like checkers, right? Like where you jump jump. Yeah.
Yeah, he would go to one unit and make an attack, and if there's another unit that's within melee range or like a charge range, basically, he goes to that unit. But you can't go to the same unit twice, and you know, say, hey, if it's a different unit, it's like he does the whole like bouncing around. Because to me, he was like bouncing all over like the Senate seats and everything.
Oh, so all right. So after you're saying, his would have to be a 1 pip.
Yeah, it had to be a 1 pip. So after his attack,
after he attacks, he can disengage with a speed 1 move and charge.
Or I would even go speed 2. I would say it's within speed 2 range.
But he can only do it once, or you can say he can keep doing it. Because if you can do it more than once,
you have to use both his actions. So maybe that's the kind of like the drawback is that he had to use both of his actions.
Okay, because if you can do it more than once, if you could kill like 3 or 4 units in one go, I'd say that's too strong.
Yeah.
I mean, potentially, unless they were all huddled really close together. Like, so if it was only a speed 1 move, because from a certain point of view, Grievous can potentially kill 3 or 4 units in one activation. From a certain point of view, Sabine can potentially kill 3 or 4 units with 1 activation, right? So
it's true.
I mean, it's a low chance, you know, but it is a chance, and it does require them being huddled up. So there's already, you know, and that's good.
And that's actually good against the clones, which
would be apropos for Yoda kind of taking on Order 66, right?
Yeah.
So that would be a really fun one. I'd like to see Mace Windu have a little bit of the Vapid, where he can maybe equip a dark side upgrade.
Yep.
You know, I could see something like that happen.
That's teetering on the edge.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be cool? Here's an idea.
All right.
Wouldn't it be cool if Mace Windu... Oh my gosh, I would love this. All right.
You guys tell me.
Okay. Mace Windu. Commander expansion.
Okay. Yeah.
Comes with a die. A purple attack die. And his lightsaber has 1 purple. I mean, it has more than just 1 die, right? It's like it's like 2 red, 2 black, 2 white, and a purple.
Okay. That makes 2 purple, make it look good.
Well, then you have to put 2 dice in the pack.
Oh, okay. 1 purple.
Yeah. So 1 purple die. You know, otherwise, this is going to be really expensive, and you got to make a whole bunch of dice or whatever. And you know. So yeah, Mace Windu comes with a purple die, and
it has double critical on it.
And it has and you can put whatever the hell you can put, like 3 hits on one side if you want, or whatever. Right. Yeah. So that would be. I mean, it might. In reality, it might be just slightly different. It may just be like a red die that doesn't have a blank.
Yeah.
You know.
It actually, I really really like the idea, but like with Destiny going under, I don't know if they want to mess with dice so much anymore in their game.
Yeah, but that would be cool, right? It'd be a small print run, and you know.
Or you know what? Maybe I could see as like a con special, like you get a Mace Windu and all of his attack die are purple, or like it's like a black and purple blend, a black and red, or red and purple blend, kind of thing like that.
Well, Con Special is even more of a limited print run, but I don't know. Like I still want it to be a purple dye. I still want them to go some, because that would be, to me, that would be like a big flare of like something that makes him significantly different, especially if that dye was very powerful.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
You could reflect it in different ways too. You could be like, okay, it's, you know, the purple dye printed on there. You just roll a red dye. You do it separately, but you're going to count that dye. You're going to double any result you see, you know, or something like that.
So we're talking about the Masters and all that. So actually, it sounds like for Mace Windu. What would make Kit Fisto different? Because I mean, I want to see him too. He's a Nodlin, which they're amazing looking. Well, but like, how do you make him different? Like, what? Because all he did was like he smiled at the camera really goofily, which was great. But
well, he was the best swimmer, so he would.
Right.
Kit Fisto might, because of that, you might be able to get away with making him speed 3. I mean, I don't know. You easily give him, you know, the environmental gear, you know, the unencumbered.
Yeah.
I think that's something you definitely give to Kit Fisto. And you know, like a lot of characters, you probably give them jump. I think we want to probably start dialing back on just how many we give jump to, though.
It's the thing. It's a staple for Jedi. All of them can do like crazy jumps for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, actually, the reason is because of Force Enhance. So maybe, you know, with Kit Fisto, we get that enhanced power because in the RPG, he's the one that actually has the picture full.
Or he might even have enhanced jump where he can do it for both of his moves. He can jump twice a turn.
Oh, yeah, see, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Or maybe that could be, like, if we start seeing characters that have special actions, I wouldn't mind seeing a unique ability on a character that says this character may do the same action twice in the same, may do any action that or maybe any non-attack action twice in a turn.
Yeah,
so he can jump twice. Maybe he has one extra one too, like quick thinking, or something like that. You know.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Granted, quick thinking might not be the most strategic thing to do twice in a turn because then you're not attacking. But
it wouldn't need the aim then.
Yeah. So or unless you had teamwork or something or a stand. But I mean, so that was that's probably a bad example. But like if you had somebody who had something like pulling the strings, that would be maybe too strong of an example.
Having Death Trooper shoot twice, no.
You know, pulling the strings is just nuts. You know, but yeah. So I would like to see, you know, some things like that, and that would be a good different take. He would still have a lightsaber. He would still, you know, probably have deflect and or whatever. But now if he can do special actions twice in a turn, that's pretty cool.
I think it's the biggest thing about these Jedi is that to make them unique, I think keywords are going to be the main thing. Like making those keywords, making those unique card upgrades are going to, you know.
They are. And you know, and the other thing is going to be command cards, obviously. The problem is there's so much room for them to write, you know, fancy things on a command card. It's like, all right, Kit Fisto can now gains you know, jump 3 and can do the same, gains +1 action and can do the same action, you know, multiple times in a turn. I'm like, whoa, that's really strong. That's a whole lot of text, and you know, but it's a command card, so you can write whatever you want. So, you know, it's harder to, but that doesn't necessarily change their entire play style. That just changes their play style for maybe one turn. You know, it has to be, you know, Palpatine's 1 pip as far as power level for it to completely change your entire, like if that card is going to single-handedly win you the game, you know, then you can say, okay, that's a playstyle defining card. But,
I think most all the Jedi 1 pips are near God. I want to say God tier, but like they're amazing. I think the one that's kind of not is Dooku's, but that's.
Well, yeah,
this is good though.
It is really good because giving him relentless is very strong, considering that he's got you know, a built-in ranged attack already. Yeah. But yeah, his is, while it is great, it's like, okay, that just brings him into the range that he should have been, like,
exactly. It makes him the melee character that everyone else is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, or the saber throw character that everyone else is, you know, and it's great in a pinch. It is really good, but I think it's his 2 pip is my favorite one.
I hate that 2 pip so much.
Ever since I got your Rex with it.
Twice. I think you've done it twice to me.
I think I did a different character the second time. But yeah, the point is, but Dooku's just strong in general. Mm-hmm. And so and that's another thing is, like, sometimes if the base character is strong enough, then the command cards don't need to be as strong.
Yeah. You know? Oh, and actually that's when you do like power creep. You don't, you know, it's, you know, like how you said, like, it's you were kind of frustrated with FFG. They released Emperor like as a second commander. Like, how do you release like the strongest character?
Third, but yeah, the second extra commander, yeah.
Like, how do you release one of the strongest characters supposedly in the lore wise, and like, how do you justify it?
Well, the good news is Palpatine's still really strong. So,
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to talk. Oh, we talked about Ezra a little bit, but Ezra, I want to talk a little bit more about. Ezra, equipment wise, everyone has their lightsaber, but Ezra has a really cool like pulse pistol lightsaber thing going on.
He
And
does.
I think it'd be a neat mechanic to have like either a cycle or or the retrofit, like how like Jyn Erso and Cassian had, like when you do rest you can swap it over and make it where Kanan can equip it too, because we saw him using it against the Grand Inquisitor.
Oh wow, that's a really interesting thought, because Ezra has two. So if you look at Ezra, Ezra's got like there's a couple ways they could do Ezra, but I think the more iconic is the season 1 and season 2 Ezra with the longer hair, because he's got. Well, I don't like that version as much, but like a lot of stuff has him that way, because he's also got the slingshot.
Yeah,
right?
the slingshot.
Now, so you could make him real cheap if you wanted him to kind of help out Kanan. Maybe he's got teamwork with Kanan. But then maybe he's got that lightsaber that has the blaster pistol on it also, and that that being like an armament upgrade, so but like kind of like the Darksaber, maybe it's 25 points because hey, it is a lightsaber after all. But but if you do that, he's still gonna have the slingshot. So what if you gave him Arsenal?
Oh man,
because
you have to make that attack pretty weak. Not weak, but like decently weak, so you don't like it's too overpowering.
Well, one thought is, what if Ezra's lightsaber / pistol could be? What if he could fire into melee? I'm thinking about like when Kanan did when he fought the Inquisitor. He did this whole thing where he like slashed and then shot him at the same time. It was really cool.
It was that was like tight.
Yeah, so I would like to see it maybe be either versatile or have Arsenal too, or, something like that. So like that could be really cool for something like that. I'd like it.
And speaking of Kanan, I want to throw this idea at you. Okay. So there's obviously maybe 2 versions you can do of Kanan, one that's blind and one that's not.
Yeah.
So the idea is it's an equipment upgrade that does maybe it restricts your movement, like hey, reduce speed by 1 but gain reflect or something, gain a positive effect. You do a negative and a positive, so you don't have to make a whole new card for him. Just have an equipment card that changes the character.
Oh, okay.
Because he got blinded at the second or third season. And it was a big thing. It became a defining moment of his character. Go for it.
All right, Kanan brings me back to Yoda from a sense. What if you brought a new keyword into the game and you called it teacher or mentor?
Ooh,
right? And if we're gonna have enough Force-using characters, what if you had a mentor ability that, like, it wasn't as good on its own, but you could basically latch on to one other character, and I mean, kind of like with the way you have teamwork, but it gave something else. Like at the start of each turn, it gives the mentor is able to like say, all right, student or Padawan or whatever, you gain this.
What about it's like teamwork? So you make it like teamwork, but you can also share tokens between them, like the clone troopers.
Yes. So mentor, and so you choose somebody, you give them a special token, or you mark them somehow, and at the start of each turn, you give them a dodge, aim, or surge. I wouldn't give it standby.
Yeah,
but in addition to that, they can also, if they're within range 1 and line of sight of each other, they can share tokens, green tokens, which would include standby. Maybe you could amend it to say it doesn't include standby, because standby was really strong.
Yeah, I would say it could, just because then you have to use an action to get standby, or maybe like a command card, but don't make it like one of the ones that you automatically get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Obi-Wan, at least Obi-Wan currently doesn't have that. So because he has that one card where he can get like a whole bunch of standbys and stuff like that.
But Padme now can give him a standby technically.
Wait, I thought she only gave it to clones. Does she give it to?
No, it's any unit within range 1 to 2.
I'm forgetting because she has. Yeah, I haven't played her yet because she's shipping, and so we'll have to get some games in.
Aren't you excited to paint that white cloth? Isn't it going to be so much fun?
Maybe. Maybe I'll paint Padme in black and do her a little different.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like she was in episode 2, you know, where she
What did the handmaidens wear? Was it like orangey?
Yeah, it was mostly orange. It had a little bit of pink purple at the bottom. It was definitely like a wet blending. Yeah. No, Padme's actually going to be really good though. That's the thing. She looks like she's going to be really, really good.
I think the Cad Bane looks his little like secrets, his secret little like his little, is it me or is it a bomb? Is it me or nothing? Like
yeah.
See, and actually, that's a great one for Quinlan Voss, because he was supposed to be like, oh, hey, am I undercover here or under there? That you can have a certain character as well.
They're introducing so many cool new little mini games. Like Cad Bane is like a game within a game, so that is a really, really fun way to do things. But yes, so gosh, let's see. We got talking about Mace Windu, Yoda a little bit.
We haven't talked about Savage Opress yet.
No, gosh.
So he's a meathead though. Like he's kind of meant to be that brute character.
I don't think you give Savage Opress Master of the Force at all. I think you treat him. I think you look at Savage Opress in a lot of the ways that you looked at Commander Luke. You give him.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking like Operative Luke.
Commander Luke. You remove the ranged attack. You just give him a melee attack, but you make it stronger. Like Commander Luke had 6 black dice. So I think you give Savage Opress like 4 red and 2 black, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, because he beat down that Jedi on the bridge.
Yeah. Maybe you give him Surge to Crit. You know.
Yep.
You might do that, or maybe a new keyword like once he's wounded he gains, or maybe once his health falls below a certain kind of how Chewbacca has or maybe you just give him rage. You just give him enraged.
Yeah, give him rage. Oh yeah,
that would actually work out pretty well. Like you want to hit Savage. Don't make Savage Opress mad. You wouldn't like him when he's angry. No, I wouldn't mind like an Incredible Hulk mechanic for them. That would make him feel a little different. But you'd have to give him a pretty good health pool too, and he seems like he could warrant like 7 health.
I would actually say 8 or 9.
Depends on what kind of defense. If he's running white defense time.
I would say white with Surge and with the whole like dodging, reflecting thing.
Ooh, did he do a lot of deflecting? I mean, I guess that's okay.
I think it's a staple Jedi thing. I mean, it could be, but again, he was trained by the Night Sisters, so that could be as well.
And that's another thing. We haven't seen Maul yet, too, because I would imagine Savage Opress to be very similar to Maul.
Or even Mother Talzin. We haven't talked about her either.
Yeah, not a lightsaber wielder, right? I could see her pulling the strings, or I want Mother Talzin to be able to bring somebody back from the dead who's already been removed from the board.
I like that. I was also thinking, because she kind of has that, doesn't she like do that like possessing thing as well? Like maybe you can use, hey, a unit within a command card, range 1 to 2. It's kind of like Luke's, hey, make them shoot at someone else. You can do that with Mother Talzin as well.
Oh, here's an idea. Maybe she has the ability, 2 actions, like a double arrow symbol, to take control of a unit at range 1.
Oh,
or something like that. But maybe one of her command cards gives her a free move during the command phase.
Yeah.
So you think like I'm safe. She can't get me. She can't get me. All of a sudden they play that one pip. She's now in range. Yeah. So like or something like something really really strong, but you know how to avoid it if you just stay away from her. Kind of like how Palpatine plays.
Yep.
He's really strong.
Leave him run away.
Yeah. And I don't know if it'd be like take control of them for the whole game, or it would just be for one round.
Yeah, do 1 round.
Yeah.
So okay, how about this? Mm-hmm. This is she. Maybe I would say definitely command card. She can spawn a unit of Night Sister zombies, as in like you actually.
Oh yeah. Maybe so she has entourage Night Sisters too.
Well, I say no. I'm not.
You're talking about full blown necromancy.
Full blown necromancy. Like, add a unit to the game.
Yeah.
Like
she'd have to come with them, and that's it. She they make her a little more expensive commander expansion because she comes with the Night Sister zombies. Oh yeah, that's good. And if they're doing that too, I want like Night Brothers from Fallen Order. I want
that. Okay. So spoilers for Fallen Order.
You want the girl, right?
Oh, okay. The girl would be great too, but no. One of my favorite characters was
the Bat.
The Bat was cool too. Listen, I love the creatures.
All right, I'm gonna let you finish. All right,
it was the Sith Lord on Dathomir. He was amazing. He was so cool, like legit, like cool.
Hold on, let me take off my shirt first. Yeah.
It was unnecessary, but like he had that.
Are we gonna fight? Let me get naked. Okay.
Yeah. but he was an amazing fighter. I would love to see him because he was that deranged, and that maybe that could be a thing. Like you roll a dice and you roll a dice and he has AI attacked because he's kind of that little insane,
going crazy. Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
That's interesting. AI attack is actually a really interesting concept because, what if they took a different direction? I said insanity. What if they made an insane character like him, for example, and he came with a deck of 5 cards that you had to shuffle out, right? You have to sleeve them, and you have to pull one every turn, and it either gives him a boon or like there's 2 good ones and 3 bad ones, right?
That would be cool.
Yeah,
I actually absolutely love that idea because it's such a, I think
like this turn he gains surge to crit, but this turn he can't move.
Exactly. So you had to, oh man, if I get this one, I have to have him in combat. Oh, I could. I'm jumping all over the place. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, so it'd be real, and maybe he's got like a command card. It's like his 1 pip is like, all right, you don't have to choose a card this turn, or a 3 pip or something like that.
See, that's perfect. Oh man,
temporary control, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I think Fallen Order has Cal Kestis.
Cal Kestis. I think it's Kestis. Yeah.
I think he could be. It's somewhat like Iden Versio with a little ID.
No, it's Kestis. Cal Kestis.
Is it Kestis?
I knew it at one point and I forgot it, and that's why I don't know it now.
Like the 3rd time we've actually done this discussion.
It's Cal. It's actually
it's
Cal Johnson. Actually, he changed it when he moved in because he's not using his real name. Come on.
Yeah.
Cal's master. The Zebra. The
Zabrak. Oh, okay. I think you meant
not Zabrak, not the Zabrak, but he was Zeb from Rebels.
No, it's not Zabrak. You're right. It's
Oh my goodness, man! I was stuck on Kestis, but yeah, Carabast.
Yep, Carabast.
My goodness, in the Last of His People, and yep. But anyway,
we're about Star Wars fan. I know who you're talking about.
Zeb Aurelius was one of those, and he was a Lasat.
There we go.
Thank you, Google.
Google. Oh,
I cheated. Well, it was on the tip of our tongues, but we're so we've been talking for an hour, and that happens. Yeah, but like that would be a really cool one too. Yeah, dude, we're forgetting like one of the best. Who was the guy from season 1 of Clone Wars?
I'm gonna die.
No, with the 4 arms and the 2 double-bladed lightsabers. The Basilisk. Yeah.
Basilisk. Whatever. Yeah, right? It's a Basilisk. No, it's Basilisk. It's a Basilisk. They have 4 arms, kind of like the toothy. Yeah.
Pong Krell is a Basilisk. He's a. No, it's Besalisk.
Yeah, Basilisk.
No, Basilisk.
Basilisk.
It's a SK. Yeah, I wasn't even sure if I was right or not. I just picked a side and just stuck. I was going to die on that hill, but Google says I'm right. Yeah, but anyway, Pong Krell would be awesome in this game.
Yeah, and the trade. I think you've talked about him before too, like with a trader mechanic.
Trader mechanic would be good, or him maybe incognito. I think is probably the easiest way to do that. But I want Pong Krell to be different because maybe he's a big dude too. Like there's some bigger characters that like maybe they consider at some point giving a trooper a base that's larger than normal. Like that would give him a different, because that would make even a speed 1 move from him that much farther, but or a speed 2 move really far. But also
I'm thinking about that because it messes. You know what? They're not going to do it because it messes with the silhouette thing.
Well, but he could have special rules for that.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right.
He could, but because he could be a silhouette 2. Maybe that would even be a keyword just straight from the RPG, silhouette 2. But
you good at silhouette 2.
Yeah, but
Ballerina.
But he is a character that like I would love to see him have like maybe the strongest melee attack. Not necessarily that great with the Force or whatever, but maybe the strongest melee attack. Like
strongest, but maybe not not in the best in the sense. Maybe it's like 10 black dice, but no surge to hit.
Maybe something like that. I was gonna go in a different way and say like 6, 5 or 6 red, but if you don't use what does the AAT have? Barrage. Yeah, where he's got like a melee barrage, so he just attacks twice. So if he gets,
Yeah.
but now it's only good against one character, you know, or if he's in melee with two characters at the same time, you know. But yeah, I think we've talked about that. We floated that idea with certain characters before too. But like that would be a really fun one for him. That would make him like he's, you know, using one and then oh man.
You know who we're forgetting too? Ahsoka. we mentioned her, but we haven't talked about her at all.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be in the Mandalorian. She had her her arc in Clone Wars.
Ahsoka I actually like her as a protector when she's grown up as a rebel. I like her as more of like an Obi-Wan kind of guardian, kind of protector type character.
She really did grow into her character towards the end, so I
so much growth, yeah. But boy, like the young Snips would be so much fun.
I can see again. All of these have like dual versions, which is kind of. I mean, it's kind of like characteristic of the way we've watched these shows growing up and seeing them like expand.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like a detachment for us, Anakin as a Snips, but then like she was.
Oh yeah, detachment makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the Padawan thing, we talked about generic Jedi before.
Yeah, and if Anakin's going to come in as a commander, he's at least going to have. Presumably, maybe we'll get more than one option, but. If he's coming in as a commander, her being an operative but detachment is wait. Here's the problem: if they make her a detachment, is a hard problem with them selling her as a standalone expansion because somebody buys her now they cannot use her because maybe they didn't buy Anakin.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe
teamwork
like,
Anakin
and use that teamwork because and actually I can see her more as actually like a commander. Because she was really good to her clones. Like, her big thing was protecting her clones.
I want 3 versions of Ahsoka at least. Like, and so I kind of...
version and the Clone Wars version.
Well, yeah, I want child Ahsoka, which would be, Snips. And then I want, like, teen version, like, and we'll just say maybe Season 7 of Clone Wars era. So, like, that's kind of the one that I want. Because she was really good in that one. And... and I don't know if like we go with like Rebels Ahsoka or if we wait.
It's very iconic because that's a grown up Jedi that we haven't seen before, and she was kicking ass.
But what about like? Is it worth maybe waiting and seeing how they portray her in The Mandalorian if she's like the sage who doesn't use lightsabers anymore?
I was thinking, do you sage Ahsoka because she had that whole like white cowl thing going on.
I think they're gonna do that. I think. Because Dave Filoni's at the helm, I think he's going to take Ahsoka to the place that Yoda eventually got to, and Palpatine eventually got to. And that's that place where once you become so powerful, you put the lightsaber away.
You don't need it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, even from a certain point of view, Jedi Luke, Luke kind of, in Episode 8, he pretty much put the lightsaber away. You know? I mean, he threw it away, but, like... with his whole force projection thing, like you don't need weapons anymore once you get to that level, and that's something I think we've gotten away from because I think the prequel trilogy and the Clone Wars as a whole took us away from the idea that the most powerful were the people that didn't even use lightsabers.
That's true.
Episode 2 actually really hurt me with that because you saw Dooku and you saw Yoda walk in and like Dooku's shooting him with lighting. Yoda just stops it with his hand and you're like, whoa, this is going to be awesome. And you're like, oh, let's take this to the next level. Let's use lightsabers. And I'm like, oh. And it was awesome. But I wasn't expecting that because I'm like, no, Yoda's the man. Yoda doesn't use a lightsaber. Oh, he does. Ugh, okay. Well, let me change everything that I thought was true.
Yeah, it's a tough way to go because like the lightsaber is very iconic of the Jedi, and like you kind of like I still see the Jedi as the Knights of the Round Table kind of feel, which that's I'm actually kind of looking for the new books, but like it's kind of weird to see him not use a weapon because it's not. At that point they should be old and frail, but the Force does make things different.
Well, it's going from like King Arthur to Merlin, and all of a sudden you don't need the sword anymore.
Well, not the Emperor, but Sidious used a lightsaber at the very end.
Yeah, but that was during the Clone Wars. He didn't use it in the original trilogy, right? In the original version, the third version that like all the older guys grew up with, your top tier of both sides were characters that did not use lightsabers anymore. And I think you kind of saw Obi-Wan ascend to that when he kind of held his weapon up and just let Vader strike him down to become moderately powerful that I could absolutely imagine,
I'm gonna throw an idea at you because this is actually coming from the KOTOR series, the Knights of the Old Republic games. Um, the
Revan?
Darth, not Darth Revan. Well, he's cool too, but Darth Kreia, which was the
the female Twi'lek.
No, that was the girl in the second one.
The old lady.
The old lady.
Yeah.
She had the same, like, she was using the lightsabers, but she didn't hold them. She was like mind manipulating them, kind of like, like spinning around in the air.
Oh wow, that's something we don't really do a whole lot of in the new Disney canon. We don't see people doing a whole lot. That was a taunt you could do in like Jedi Academy too. If you had the two lightsabers, you could like taunt and like they'd fly around you and then they'd land back in your hands.
In the RPG, there is actually a way to do that, and if you use the Force move, it's like it's a tree you go down, like it's like finely attuned movements, and you can actually wield lightsabers at a distance.
Yeah, it's another thing that'd be kind of interesting is if they come up with like lightsabers as like equipment. Like in Legion, if like if they wanted to pass around the dark saber, for example, or like there's this the whole like the Vader Immortal and the IMX labs, like there's like the ancient lightsabers and stuff that like Vader's in search of and
all that.
Yeah, and so like I'm wondering if like that might be a kind of a cool thing, especially if getting a second lightsaber and especially after somebody falls, you pick up their lightsaber. Like that would be a really cool thing they could do if they ended up having a lot of Jedi in Legion. Like when somebody dies, like somebody else can pick up their lightsaber.
So we're talking. This is gonna be a little off topic. I'll do it real quick. Mm-hmm. We're talking about a lot of Jedi and that introduced them into the game. And one of the things that we did see, I remember from the movies or some of the movies, more the games and the books, were non-Force users who were resistant to the Force. Like there was a character where he basically there was the
Islamir.
No, it's like kind of like the Islamir, but like the Watto's race.
Okay.
They were resistant to the Force.
Toydarians, yeah.
It's Toydarians. They're one of the characters in one of the games. Like if he's around the Jedi, he would think about numbers all the time. So that actually stopped him from being like mind persuaded. So maybe like a training upgrade, since we're having all these Jedi, that somehow hurts Jedi. I don't know how to do it, but it gives non-Force using units the ability to combat Jedi.
Okay. Well, I mean,
you can go with Cortosis. That's another thing too. Cortosis was a huge thing in all the games.
Yeah, that's
This is a little off topic of the Jedi thing, but like I'm thinking.
Well, you see a little bit of that with the Darksaber.
Yeah.
I mean, you see a little bit of that there. I know we're going to get more of that with the Mandalorians because that's the Mandalorians' whole thing, and we know that there's more Mandalorian stuff coming. They talked about that at the Adepticon panel. Luke Eddy even went so far as to say it's absolutely coming. There's all kinds of stuff coming, but it's a little ways out. So like be patient, So I feel like that sort of thing is coming, and I think the Darksaber with Sabine is kind of like a clue as to how one way we might see that capability emerge. But there's already some units that can, like the Royal Guards thing, like you said, or Wookiees can potentially, or Cad Bane can kind of go toe to toe with the Jedi a little bit, and that's one thing is you don't necessarily have to kill a Jedi, but if you can immobilize them, you can really cut them down.
Yep. Yeah. This is true.
All right. Well, I think that's about it. I mean, I'm sure we probably missed a couple of things. Let us know in the comments if there's any stuff.
Jedi, you want to see?
Yeah. What do you guys want to see? What cool Jedi ideas? Where do you see the game once we have more Force using or lightsaber using characters on all sides? Where it really becomes tough to pick and choose who your heroes are going to be.
Yeah. Choices are always fun because it makes.
Then it's going to be time for hero mode. Where we just 800 points of operatives and commanders go. Like, that sounds really fun to me.
Yeah.
Really fun. I hope it's coming. If not, we can just do it. Maybe we should just do that one of these days.
We'll try it.
You know what we could do? Like, honestly, if you wanted to test something like that out right now, you could just pick, like, okay, I want to be light side, so I'm going to pick, Republic and Rebels merge their hero pool together. And then come up with that.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Battlefront mode, isn't it? The Battlefront has that.
Yeah, it pretty much heroes versus villains, basically. It's like that would be a real fun mode, and hopefully, we'll toy around with it and see how well it works. But I feel like the dark side might be a little more powerful. But then, because you wouldn't have all lightsaber. Like there might be a place for Han Solo in there, although with Pierce too, and all the dark side guys being immune to Pierce,
Well, not like Boba. Oh yeah, actually, no, Boba is. Never mind.
He's got impervious.
Yeah.
Yeah, like some. Well,
Han would be at a detriment.
Well, I mean, I would do Luke. I would definitely do Luke and Sabine and Obi-Wan.
I'm gonna go with Jin and Cassian just because I can. So.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, K2 actually wouldn't be terrible in that case too. Yeah. Although it wouldn't be hard to get around his incognito because all your characters are going to want to get close anyway.
Yeah, that's true. And we're gonna be on. I would assume this would be on a smaller map as well.
I could see it being on a 3x3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it might be fun to do it on a 6x4 just for the hell of it.
Hey, give it a shot. We have nothing to lose, really.
Yeah, get that big terrain from the Monster Scenery Metropolis would be freaking awesome. Cool. Oh man, oh my gosh, yeah.
Did you back it? I know you were kind of like you were.
Oh yeah, I'm backing.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, at least for right now at the $1 level because I'm gonna wait and see if the pledge manager happens, and then I still don't know. I still don't know what I'm going to be able to afford or what I'm going to have room for.
There's so many varieties in there too. Like, do you want vents for your house? There are vents for your building. It's so cool.
Oh yeah, it's going to be amazing. So, all right, well that's all I got. I'll talk to you guys later. You got any closing remarks, Sean?
Oh no, guys, just stay safe. Keep yourselves good and going. That's all I got.
This podcast has been brought to you by Coke Zero. No, it's actually. But if you want to sponsor our podcast, let us know. All right, we'll talk to you guys later.
The big money right there.
See you.
See you guys.